Hi students, so here is your reading for this activity. You're going to be reading about sound and waves, and the first part of course is typically My Planet Diary. So I'm going to read this out loud. You are going to do an Edpuzzle where you're going to answer some questions before we move on. So right now you should have open your reading packet to page 110 where it says My Planet Diary, Isaac Newton. I am going to read. You are going to follow along with me as I read. Sir Isaac Newton lived from 1642 to 1725, may be best known as the man who came up with the theory of gravity. But Newton, who was born in England, made numerous other important contributions to both math and science, including defining the laws of motion and co-founding the field of calculus. In the 1660s, Newton investigated the laws of light and color. In his famous book Optics, he describes how he passed sunlight through a prism to prove that white light consists of many colors. Newton was knighted in 1705 and was the first scientist to be buried at Westminster Abbey. So here we have a picture of a prism that Sir Isaac Newton was talking about, how when you shine a light into a prism, what comes out of it is the colors of the spectrum or the rainbow as we know it. So here's some questions. How did Newton prove that sunlight consists of many colors? That is what we just talked about. You are going to answer that question. Now, we are going to be doing a prism experiment, so we are not going to answer this question right now, but instead we will go to the next section of our reading. Okay? So, on page 111 is where you should be next. Okay? Our vocabulary words are index of refraction, mirage, lens, concave lens, and convex lens. Now first I see that it says, what causes light rays to bend? So you're going to take a colored pencil, you're going to box this, and you are going to shade it in. So do that now. Then you're going to number this paragraph number 1 and this paragraph number 2. Okay? Now we are going to read, and you are going to think of what words are we going to circle and what sentence should we underline. Remember, our question we're looking for is what causes light rays to bend. Okay, here we go. A fish tank can play tricks on your eyes. If you look through the side of a fish tank, a fish seems closer than if you look at it from the top. If you look through the corner of the tank, you may see the same fish twice. Look at figure 1 right here. You see one image of the fish through the front of the tank and another through the side. The two images appear in different places. How can this happen? All right, students, this whole paragraph is talking about examples of the fish tank. So there's not really anything to circle or underline because we don't want to circle examples. We want to circle what causes light rays to bend. So let's keep reading. Refraction can cause you to see something that may not actually be there. As you look at a fish in a tank, the light coming from the fish to your eye bends as it passes through 3 different mediums. The mediums are water in the tank, the glass of the tank, and air outside the tank coming to your eyes. As the light passes from one medium to the next, it is refracted. When light rays enter a new medium at an angle, the change in speed causes the rays to bend. So I want you to think about this paragraph. What are some words you would circle, and what is the sentence you would underline? You're going to do that on your paper, and then you are going to do that in the Edpuzzle to tell me and your science teachers what you are circling and underlining. Okay, students, next we have 2 more paragraphs. This paragraph is number 3 right here, and this paragraph is number 4 right here. Okay? Refraction in different mediums. Some mediums cause light to bend more than others. Figure 2, right here, shows how the path of a light ray changes as it passes from one medium to another. So we're going from air, and then when it hits the water, it bends this way. And when it hits the glass, it bends more. And when it hits the air, it bends back. When light passes from air into water, the light slows down. Light slows down again and bends even more when it passes from water to glass. Water to glass, it bends. When light passes from glass back into air, the light speeds up. Notice that the ray that leaves the glass is traveling in the same direction as it was before it entered the water. Right here, you can see the angle of the line in the air goes this way. And now again, the angle in the air down here looks like it's the same direction. The angle is the same as here. Light travels fastest in air, a little slower in water, and slower still in glass. All right, students, so there is a lot happening about light bending in here. I want you to stop and think about what are you going to circle, okay, and what are you going to underline in this paragraph. Think about refraction. Refraction means that the ray or the light bends. So what are you going to circle in here that talks about that? Okay, circle your words and then write them down in your Edpuzzle question. Glass causes light to bend more than either air or water. See the glass line? It's bent the most down, where the air one goes more sideways. Another way to say this is that glass has a higher index of refraction, or a higher bend, than either air or water. The index of refraction of a medium is the measure of how much a light ray bends when it enters that medium. So, index of refraction is how much a light ray bends. The higher the index of refraction of a medium, the more it bends the light. The index of refraction for water is 1.33. The index of refraction of glass is about 1.5. So light is bent more by glass than by water. All right, students, again, think about what are you going to circle here? What are some important words that we should circle? And what sentence do you think we should underline? All right, students, when you are finished, you are going to finish answering your Edpuzzles and then check in with your science teacher. Good luck!